Okay, we are recording.
Hey guys, welcome. We're a small group tonight, it looks like, but we're going to have some fun on this Sunday evening. I'm Tammy, and I was introduced to Young Living about 5 years ago by my sister Tanya, my partner in crime, and just about everything that I do. And she has introduced me and kind of fed me along the way and gotten me interested more and more and more in all the different products. Of course, we started with the oils and have moved into pretty much touching every product, and we get really excited when the new products come out. And she has really taken off with this Savvy Minerals. She's loved every bit of it from the moment she got started, and I have dabbled in it, not as much as she has, but I've loved everything I've touched. So tonight she's got a lot to share with us, but it'll be fun watching her do her thing. She's going to tell us a little bit about her skincare routine and what Young Living has to offer as far as skincare goes, and then jump into the product line and show us how to look savvy. So, since we have a lot to cover, I'm going to hand it over to her, Tanya Jax.
Thank you, Tammy. All right, should I go ahead and do the spotlight now?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna do this. We learned this new little trick to do the spotlight video so you guys can actually see me bigger when I'm doing the techniques, so you don't have to hone in little squares. With Zoom, there are different features you can, it just depends on what computer you're on, if you're on an Apple or Windows, but you can like hit gallery view or speaker view, and you can also move us around if you need to by dragging different things. And then there's the chat box. So be sure and type your questions in the chat box if you have them, or at the end we're going to open up the floor for questions and we'll unmute all of you then. So we'll probably have more people join us as we go on, but welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So I just want to give you a little bit of background on me. Yes, I am Tammy's best partner in crime. We do crime well together. And a year ago when this product, I guess a little over a year ago when these products came out, I was such a rookie. I did not know anything about makeup. I put on mascara, blush, foundation, and lip gloss, and that was it. That was on a good day. I did not do any contouring, highlighting, bronzing. That was like not even in my vocabulary. I thought if you were like a teenager or a preteen, that's when you did that. So like Tammy said, I was really into the oils and all of the energy drink, the Ningxia Red, the supplements, and so many of the products just radically transformed my life. And that's a whole nother video, a whole nother class. But because of that, I thought, well, if, you know, if all that's been this amazing, I bet the makeup is going to be every bit as amazing. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to go all in, and I can't really talk about it unless I tried it. So I went ahead at convention a year ago, June, and purchased most of the products. And let me just back up a little bit and tell you that before that, about a few months before that convention, I had gone to Young Living's beauty school. They have them all throughout the year, all over the country, and if you get a chance, go. They're so much fun. You are so pampered, and it's a school. You learn the ins and outs of all the beauty products, how to put on the makeup. At that time, we didn't have makeup, but we heard from so many. Mary Young was there, and we heard from so many of the experts. Melissa Pepping and a lot of the Crown Diamonds were there to teach us about the products. And so that's when I really got into the skincare. Right after that, the makeup came out, and I just thought, this is going to complete full circle, you know, natural living at its best. So I brought the makeup home, had no clue what to do. Like I said, I had only used a very few products, but there was a group, actually there was two groups that I learned literally everything from. And it's called, one of them is called The Savvy Mess. So The Savvy Mess, M-E-S-S, and that's run by Melissa Pepping, and she actually developed all the makeup. So she's a great person to learn from. And the other one, thank you, Tammy, for typing that in the chat box, is called Inside Out Natural Savvy Beauty. So you too, I'm telling you this because you too can go there and be the expert. which somehow I got deemed that just because I really got into the makeup and loved it so much. But not only did I not like makeup, I did not like the process of putting on makeup. Now that time in the morning is sacred for me because I feel beautiful and I feel confident, and I can't really explain it to you unless you got the makeup and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So it's been an exciting journey and I love sharing about it. I want to do that. I have some notes over here. That's why I keep looking over here, and I'm going to have to kind of be awkward too, but to change out my pages. But because we have some of the new products from convention and I don't have all that information yet stored up here, I do need to look at a few notes. So bear with me. I'm not going to talk a lot about all the ingredients and everything that we're covering tonight because a lot of that I've done in another video, but I will attach that video so you can see it later if you want. I am going to go over some of the products that were just released and some of their ingredients because not a lot of people know about those. So, and because it's not in my other video. Now you're going to see me use a lot of products and you may ask, well, I can't afford all that, or gosh, that's a lot of product. I would never use that much stuff. I thought that too. But what I do is I use my Essential Rewards points, and that's what I get my product with. So basically, I don't really pay for my skincare or my makeup because I just use my points for that. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, then message me afterwards or talk to the person that invited you to find out how that program works. Another thing I really want you to keep in mind is that the products last anywhere from 2 to 12 months, so they really last a long time. So I didn't get everything all at once as far as the skincare goes. But I mean, I did make a big purchase at convention. I had to build my skincare product line over time, but they last a long time. So that's a big perk. Okay, so let's get started. I want to tell you my skincare routine just because I get asked this a lot, and honestly, the makeup looks a lot better when you take care of your skin. So I'm going to tell you that first, and then we'll get into the tutorial of the makeup. To save on time, I already have done all of the product on my face that I'm getting ready to tell you about, and I've also done the primer, so it's ready for the makeup. So I'm not going to actually do this while we're talking, but I just want to touch on it briefly. So what I start with, actually it's changed a little bit since convention because we got some new products. So at night, to take off my makeup, I use the Mira Cleansing Oil, which is so luxurious. So it may seem really counterproductive. Let's see, I don't think everyone's muted. There we go. It may seem counterproductive to clean your face with oil. It did for me. But if you have the right oil, it works really well. And so what they've used in this blend is an oil that will not clog your pores. It's the carriers they use are jojoba and argan, which are really light and provide a ton of fatty acids and antioxidants. So your skin loves it. It's very packed with essential oils. So let me tell you what it has in it. It has sandalwood, rose, jasmine, bergamot, Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, lemon, geranium, and coriander. And it smells so good. It's 100% plant-based, of course. It doesn't have any of the phthalates or the, the things that you find that the products have at the store, like the sulfates and the fragrances. It's 100% pure. It takes all the junk out of your pores, but it protects your skin's natural oils. So it doesn't strip your skin, which I love that. It really gives your skin a lot of hydration, and it's good for all skin types. So how you use it is you just take a couple of pumps, 2 to 3 in your hand, and then you will just you'll just massage it in. And if I have time, it's good if you take the time to massage it for about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, because when you massage your skin, it brings all of the blood to the surface, and it really oxygenates your skin, and that's really healthy for pretty skin. So always want to go up and out whenever you're dealing with your skin tissue, because Mother Nature is going to pull it down. So just up and out helps that skin a lot. And the massaging is just really good for your skin. And I want to mention here, while we're talking about technique, that around your eye area, you don't want to tug and pull. That's really assisting in those wrinkles we don't want. So anytime you can pat with your ring finger or your pinky, because that's very delicate skin, and that just has a lighter pressure, that's really good. And so you can pat on product, or if you have to do a rubbing motion, I would go inward, inward, not out. Now, anything I do to my skin, I also do to 3 other places, actually 4. Always get your neck and your chest and the back of your hands, because those all show age a lot, as well as your lips. So anything, if I'm cleansing, if I am exfoliating, toning, moisturizing, it all gets it. So that really helps to, keep everything looking the same age. All right, so the cleansing oil removes my makeup. Now, a lot of people like to do, they consider that their first cleansing, and their second cleansing is with a different product. A lot of times I will only do the cleansing oil. It does not bother my skin. I don't ever have breakouts or anything from not doing a second cleansing. But that is kind of a popular term right now in the industry. So if you were to do a second cleansing, or in the morning, this is what I always use. Well, not always, but most of the time. We'll tell you that in a minute. The Orange Blossom Facial Wash. So this is a new product. This actually is not a new product, but it was reformulated in June. And I'll tell you just a little bit about what happened there. But first I want to tell you one thing. If you struggle with, now let's talk about this for a minute. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. This is targeted for normal to oily skin. If you have breakouts, it's excellent for that. We just came out with a brand new product that if you feel like you use this and it doesn't quite give you what you need for acne or breakouts, which this definitely will change your skin. It's very good for acne and breakouts. We have a new product. It's called Maximum Strength Acne Treatment. And you can use that you can use it on spots that you need to clear up after you cleanse. I don't have that product with me. I clearly don't have a lot of breakout issues, but I am gonna stock it up in my inventory for when I have my classes. I just don't have any right now. The key ingredient in this is going to be, that helps with breakouts, is the Copaiba essential oil, Andiroba, and Aussie carrier oils. This also has rosemary, patchouli, and lemon and lavender. So it smells really nice. And then it has, of course, the orange blossom botanical extracts, which make it smell really good. And what else? Let's see. Oh, calendula, kelp, rose flower, algae, lemon peel, orange peel, and apple extracts. So can you imagine how lovely this smells? I do adore it. It's, of course, dermatologist tested. It's made for sensitive skin, and it has all the 100% natural plant-based products, like all of our products. And now what's so great about the new formula is it's gluten-free. Young Living is working towards making all of their products gluten-free. I believe everything in their makeup is gluten-free, but some of the skincare products still have a little bit of gluten in them, and they're working to take those out. I wanted to say something about that Maximum Strength Acne Treatment. It is over-the-counter medication. It's been approved by the FDA for that, and we're really proud that we can claim that. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture floating around about a gal that used it for 6 weeks. She seriously had so much acne that she looked like she had the chicken pox. And then within 6 weeks, it was completely cleared up. I mean, it was amazing. I'll try to post that in the groups when I post the recording of this video later tonight. Okay, so back to my routine. So I cleansed, and then twice a week I will use an exfoliator. And we only have one. It's Satin Mint Facial Scrub. And I currently just ran out. It's on my ER order, so I can't show it to you, but exfoliating is a really important step because it gets rid of all your dead skin cells. And then when they're gone, they slough off, the new ones can come to the surface. Well, we want new skin cells, not dead ones. That's what helps us look young and vibrant and really helps your skin to look its best. So I exfoliate every other day or twice a week. What I love about that product is when you combine the mango butter and the peppermint essential oils, it is truly divine. And I leave it on for about 10 minutes and then I'll wash it off. you want to make sure that you want to, do circular motions, but you don't want to get it under your eye tissue because it does have some exfoliating product in it that is a little abrasive, but you can definitely exfoliate your whole face and your neck and chest. So then I moved to the toner, and I tone twice a day. This is the toner, Young Living's Art Toner. Toning I thought was such a waste of time before I learned what it actually does. It actually is a process that helps your minimize your pores, and it restores your pH balance, which that's what gives you just a nice even skin tone. So toning is really important, and when you smell this toner, you'll want to use it. It smells so good. It has Melissa, Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood, frankincense, lavender, and lemon. And it's really nourishing. And I have a little trick for you. I put mine in here because it has somebody told me this. It has the hole in the top of this is a little bit big, and you just waste product. So I put it in here and I spray a cotton round, and then I, clean my face. And I kind of consider this my second cleansing. So I will do this after I do the Mura oil. And if any residue is left, it comes off with the toner. And I love that product. Okay, next up I use the moisturizer. We just got a brand new moisturizer in the Orange Blossom line. This is a really light moisturizer, and it is, again, Orange Blossom, so it's all about helping with breakouts. So it really helps with I don't want to say greasy, but oil. It really helps with oil and to control excess shine. So, and it does. It really does the job. It's hypoallergenic, and of course, it's not going to clog your pores. One of the main ingredients, it has a lot of the same ingredients that the Orange Blossom Cleanser has. But two things that are different from this is it has microalgae and licorice root extract, which has been studied to specifically reduce acne and get rid of oily skin. So it's a very powerful product when you combine those two together. So each morning I'll use the moisturizer we talked about. But at night, I like a deeper, thicker moisturizer. So I'll use Young Living Sandalwood Moisturizer. And it has a lot of oils in it as well. And it's very thick and very creamy. And I have had this for over a year. It's just lasts forever. You just need a tiny bit. And for some people, it's really thick. And so they'll take water and kind of get it a little bit thinner, coat, and put it on their face, and kind of extends it a little bit too. Okay, so that's what I do. That's what I do every day or every week. And then I have one more thing that I don't have that I've run out. But Young Living has some great masks. And if you like to do masks, they're very, very nourishing, and just another great add for your skincare routine. And I like the Art Cream Mask. You can use it every night, or you can just use it a couple of times a week. And ladies, all these products, I mean, just the more you can add to your routine, you're just going to have beautiful skin. That's all there is to it. But again, just start slow, build up your arsenal, and you'll be happy that you did. The thing I love about that mask is, I think I just said this, you can sleep in it, but it's really velvety soft, and it smells really good. So I use that a couple times a week. Alrighty. So before we move to the makeup tutorial, I just want to recap this Orange Blossom line because those are some new products. And there's one thing I haven't shown you, if you can believe it or not. So we have the cleanser with the facial wash. We have the moisturizer. And now we have charcoal bar soap. If you guys can see this. Everything's like backwards on here. It's black. I know, it's crazy. It kind of comes off kind of gray when you use it. This is like a half a bar because I shared with friends, but it is a full-size bar of soap. It's about as big as your palm. It smells so good. And it has, of course, all the ingredients we've already talked about. But one thing it has that the other ones don't is it has activated charcoal. And I don't know if you've studied that much or know a lot about it, but charcoal acts like a magnet, and it just draws out dirt and oil. So this is some people just love a bar soap for the face versus the cleanser. So I love that we have this alternative. And literally, you just get it wet and you put it in your hands, and you have got lather like nothing else. It lathers up so well, and it's good for all skin types. But again, the blemish prone skin really love it. And it's also good for a body soap as well. It has all the other ingredients plus the activated charcoal, and it also has sunflower seed oil, wolfberry oil, and oat bran, which acts as a natural exfoliator. So it has a little bit of, you can feel it kind of has that exfoliator in it. And it's really good for every area of your body because it's good for sensitive skin. So every area, just use your imagination there. Okay, so let's get to the fun stuff. Okay, first up, the primer. Primer, we just came out with primer. Everybody's been begging for it. Again, a product I've never used before now. But the primer is really interesting. It acts as a base. Like when you're priming your house, when you're painting your house, you put a primer on first. And that acts as a base so that your paint goes on smoother and lasts longer. Same thing when you prime your skin. It helps your skin look smoother and the foundation just goes on a lot better and it stays longer. And I also will put primer on my eyelids too to help my eyeshadow stay on longer. And it's meant to help with, just to help reduce fine lines and fills in your pores and any imperfections that you have before you start. So I've done that. We have mattifying primer and we have hydrating primer. And one's for dry skin and one's for oily. And they both have essential oils in them that are specifically for that skin type. So you just apply a thin layer. Let me show you what it looks like. You just apply, it goes a long way too. It doesn't take a lot. You just apply a thin layer all over your face. And you also could just apply it in the T-zone area if you'd like, and you don't want to put it everywhere. Just play around with it. And that reminds me that I wanted to tell you guys that I play a lot because I really enjoy the product. It's very forgiving. So I've done a lot of these videos. So tonight I'm going to try a couple of new things. So if I mess up, we're just going to do it together. And you're going to see how forgiving this makeup is. All right, I want to mention the misting spray because that, along with a good brush set, is essential for this makeup because it is mineral makeup. So our mineral makeup sets and stays on a lot better whenever you do use the misting spray. And it just goes hand in hand with the foundation. It smells so amazing. I know I've said that 1,000 times, but I mean, when you put oils and things, you know you're going to be smelling amazing. It has rose and geranium, cedarwood, lavender, and it really does smell so good. I want to show you Young Living's brush set. It comes in a nice case, and some of these I have added on a few brushes. It comes with 5 brushes and I've added on a few, but it's really nice and it's got Young Living on it. It's a nice travel case. So I want to show you though the difference between, some people, like I didn't know this, I use the same $2 brush for every application of anything I did for 10 years. So I didn't even know that you need to clean your brushes or get different brushes or anything. But this is the foundation brush. This is your all over, if you can see this, see the difference? This is your all over setting brush. I would have used this for foundation, not knowing. Anyway, the foundation brush is very, if you only get one brush, I would get this. Or get a good foundation brush somewhere. Get them other places too besides Young Living. But these are made in Italy. And the wood is it's going to last you forever. And I love the fact that each one is labeled that says foundation on it. So, I mean, I don't know what the brushes are used for, so I'm really happy that they made it so simple. The bristles are very short and very stout, not fluffy, and that is what makes a big difference with this foundation. So, just wanted to point that out. And getting closer. Getting closer, getting beautiful. Okay, Young Living does not make a concealer or liquid foundation yet. But I have heard that this time next year, we're going to have everything that a full-blown cosmetic line will have, including liquid foundation, concealer. There was one other product that, lip balm, and I think we're going to have sunscreen in our moisturizer. I mean, in our foundation. And then they have a whole bunch of fun stuff like blue mascara and I don't know. crazy stuff that people love, all the glitter and all that later. But anyway, that's really exciting that within a year we're going to have people want concealer. They just do. So, but I'm going to show you how you can make your own concealer using the foundation. And I wanted to say here that Tammy's going to pipe in every now and then throughout this tutorial if I forget something, which I probably will, and help us with any questions. So if you have questions as we're going along, please type them in the chat box and we'll be answering them as we go along. Or you can talk to us at the end if you'd rather do that. Okay, so what I do, and I use foundation, I use Cool #1, which is the lightest color. You can't hear me. Oh, Patty, I'm sorry. Hang on, let me talk. I'm up all the way, but I will talk louder. Can you hear that better? Let me know. So I use Cool #1, but right now I'm out of it, so I'm using Cool #2. I've got it on my ER order. Not that you need to know that, but now you do. So what I do is I take my Savvy Minerals misting spray, and I have already put my the product I'm going to use. I put it in my lid. So basically, I just tilted it out into my lid. A lot of people will spray their brush and then pick up the minerals and apply it. However, a friend of mine told me this, and it has made a big difference for me, and I really, really like it better. So I will spray the lid. I just spray the lid one time and get it kind of liquidy in there. And then I will take my brush and swirl it around and just pick up the minerals. Just checking to make sure everyone's muted. Sometimes when everyone's not muted, you can't hear the sound as well. So I pick up the minerals, and I'm going to show you what I do to conceal. The only place I really have to conceal tonight is this one little area on my face, which is right here, that little spot. And I have another mirror over here because it really throws me off to try to do it backwards to you guys. But I just will dab that spot until I feel like it's kind of vanishing into my skin. And I may pick up a little bit more and dab it a little bit more until I feel like it's blended in and you can't see it as much. And then I will take and you just kind of have to play around to see how much spray you like. But I did put a little more foundation in here, so I've sprayed it again. And then pick up the minerals. And just in a circular motion, I just start applying the foundation. Gentle circular motion. I really don't have any rhyme or reason as to how I do it. I just make sure I get a nice coat all over my face. Patty, can you hear me better now? Type in the chat box if you still are having trouble. I'm spraying my lid and just picking up a little more foundation. And I always put it over my eyelids as well, my lips, just everywhere. You guys get to see all my funny faces. It's going to feel really, really light, and you're going to be like, I don't feel like I have anything on. Everybody says that. But hang with me, and by the end, you're going to have a full face makeup. And what's nice is, at the end of the day, your face does not feel heavy. It just doesn't. It feels really light. And a lot of times, I will just put it on my neck. I'll just sleep in this makeup. I know you probably shouldn't, but it's all natural, so it kind of makes me feel like I can sometimes. Okay, good, Patty. You can hear me now. Great. Okay, so now I just have one layer. Now, if you really want thicker application, you could apply more. You could apply a second and third layer. Another thing you can do is you can put in your cap some of the moisturizer. Just put that in your cap, put your minerals in, and either take your finger or a Q-tip and mix it up, and then you've got a really nice pasty foundation, which will go on as a liquid, putting it on with the brush. You also can use like the Boswellia wrinkle cream or that thick moisturizer I just showed you. You could use that if you want a thicker, a thicker base to your moisturizer. But I would highly, highly encourage you, and I've taught many classes in person where people are like, I can't do anything other than liquid foundation. I can't. I won't. And they try it. I get them to try it, and they love it. So before you go doing all your concoctions, just try it. You may be surprised. Okay, now I'm going to move on and do bronzer. I really love bronzer. I never leave home without it anymore. And again, I'm using Crowned All Over. I'm going to put a little bit into the cap. And I'm going to take my bronzer brush. It's kind of angled. Again, I love that it's labeled. Just going to pick up a little bit of product, not a whole lot. And bronzing is some of these things I do because I've seen on the video, ladies. That's all I know. I saw it and I do it. So I can't really get real technical with, this is not a high advanced class is what I'm trying to say. This is just, I saw it, I do it, I like the way it looks. So I'm just going to learn, do it the quick way. So I like to put it in my hairline. And when I have my hair up like this, it's just really pretty when I go out in the sun. It just kind of glistens. You may not be able to see a lot of this on here. But at the end, it may tie in and look nice with the overall finished look. So just kind of get it up in the hairline, and it's just a little bronzy up there. Then I'll take it and I'll do just kind of the middle of your ear, and you just kind of do it halfway to your cheek. That's called bronzing, sculpting, all sorts of things. And you can build this makeup, so it can definitely be a lot darker if you want, or a lot, or lighter. So you probably just barely can even see that on the video. I'm going to get a little bit more. And sometimes I will use the darker color, or an interesting thing is you can use, we have a product called Multitasker, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It can be an eyeshadow, it can be an eyeliner, it can be an eyebrow filler, and it can also be added to any product to darken it. So sometimes if I really want a little darker bronzer, I'll even add a little bit of that to this, and that's interesting. You can also spray your brush with misting spray, and it goes on a lot more bold. And sometimes if I'm going out at night, I will do that. And just back and forth. You can see I'm just kind of sloppy with it. So now I've bronzed below my cheekbone and on my forehead. And then I like to put in a little bit of bronzer. Actually, I'm going to use a different brush for this. This actually is a concealer brush, but I like to use it for this. And this is a brand new thing I'm doing. So if I screw up, you guys just are going to get to laugh tonight. Somebody showed me this trick to put bronzer down the side of your nose like that. Again, you're probably not going to be able to see that on here. So I just kind of bronze down each side of my nose. And then I'm going to put just a little bit on the tip. And it just gives you a little bit of sheen, and it kind of just, when you're finished, you feel like it just kind of ties it all together. Alrighty, let's see. Some people like to bronze like their jawline as well. And it depends on the shape of your face and if you're really trying to accent certain areas or not. I have a very average face. I don't have like a huge nose, or I don't have, high cheekbones or anything that I'm trying to change. But you can do a lot of changing with bronzing. You can do a lot of different features and accenting with bronzing. So again, go watch those videos on those Facebook pages I told you about, and you can learn all about that. Okay, so we have a new product I'm so excited about. We have a veil that's matte. So we have a veil that's diamond dust and a veil that is matte. And one of them is sparkly and one is matte. So I'm making a big mess here. Let me show you what I do with this. So the veil can be used in many ways. It can be used as an all-over powder. So at the end, you can set your makeup by doing an all-over veil, which kind of sets your makeup. Or you can also highlight with this product, and I love it. The diamond dust, I feel like it's a little too shimmery to do that because all of the product has a lot of shimmer in it. And so for me, I don't know if you can see the difference here, but probably not. I'm going to spill it. But it looks exactly the same, but one has a real sheen to it. And I do use the Diamond Dust in a way that I'll show you in just a minute. But first I want to show you what I do with the matte. I use it as a highlighter. So I use a beauty blender. Young Living is going to be making this too, I heard. Use it as a beauty blender. I'm going to use a beauty blender. I do not get it wet, but I'm going to put it right underneath where I just highlighted or bronzed, where I just bronzed. I'm going to highlight where I just bronzed. And it's going to look really funny. Ah, you can definitely see that. I'm going to look like a clown before it's over. When somebody first showed me this, I was like, are you kidding? I'm not going to do that. But I'm doing it. So I'm not real even here, but it's okay. I'm going to show you how it blends out. And a lot of people like to just wherever the sun is going to hit you, so they like to do right on their forehead. Just a white spot right there. And then I like to do one right down in the center of my nose. Like that. That's it. Then I will take my foundation brush and just blend it in very softly. I mean, you know, just kind of go in the same direction. I don't do circles with this one. And it just kind of gives you a nice highlight and kind of brings out the bronzing that you just did. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. See? Forgetting. I am doing the circle on the forehead. But it just, whoops. It's kind of dusting it off and really just feathering it in and blending it. So it just kind of really accents what I did. One thing with the mineral makeup, you're going to notice that the minerals, they oxidize throughout the day. So they'll start getting darker. So that's why I ended up having to move to the lightest foundation because it just seemed like it was too dark throughout the day. The thing with the highlighting really helps. It really helps to calm down how the oxidation works. Okay, one thing I didn't do, I'm going to go ahead and do it. But I'll also do it right under my eyes, like a raccoon. And I do it in I need to do it over here. Like in a V. Doesn't look like a very, very sloppy V today. And then I will, Jamie, don't laugh. And then I will just kind of dust it off and blend it in. Again, it kind of brightens up my eyes. And I feel like it really looks nice once you have all of it on. And I thought the same thing you did. That's crazy. Okay. So now I would like to go ahead and do my eyes because I just like to do those before I do my blush and lipstick. So I know everybody kind of does it in a different order, but that's what I like to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is my lovely eyebrows, which you can see I have none. So if you guys have any specific questions, now is a great time to put them in the chat box while I'm focusing on this, and we'll get them answered. If you have any questions up to this point.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Are you going to do your foundation after you do your eyes?
My foundation? You mean my eyeshadow?
Well, you did the bronzer and the highlighting thing. Did you do the all-over foundation?
Yes, that's the first thing I did. I did do the all-over foundation when I was doing the circular motions.
I gotcha.
That's okay. I know I'm changing it up. She's really confused tonight. Her partner is changing it up. So here I'm using the multitasker, and I'm going to show you what it looks like because, and it's in a little small pod because I use this for travel. So they generally will be, let's see if I can find one. You ought to see this contraption here I'm trying to work with. The Leaning Tower of Pisa here. Here's how big they are. Just, you know, and they last, oh my gosh. I have had all of my eyeshadows for, June was a year, and I still have tons of product. but I don't think you're ever going to run out of eyeshadow. But anyway, this is the multitasker. It's very brown. Can you see how dark that is? So a lot of times, people will take their foundation and mix it in here to make it a little bit lighter, and that works great. But Young Living just came out with 3 other shades of multitasker. I've tried all 3 because I felt like this one was a little bit dark, but actually I feel like they're more for reddish type hair or red toned hair. I felt like they were all just a little too red on me. Okay, so now here we go for the big brow moment. So I just dip it in my lid and get a little bit on the brush. Not a whole lot. You don't need a whole lot for your brows. And ladies, if you're going to see a drastic change in my eyebrows, obviously. But even if you don't have a lot of eyebrows, I mean, even if you have nice eyebrows, but there still may be some little bit of thinning, especially as we get older, that happens. And just touching up certain areas of your eyebrow can make a big difference. But at first, you're going to be like, I look like a clown. But then you're gonna love it. And it really, eyebrows can make your face. Trust me. You're about to see a miracle here. So I like to start at the middle and kind of go out first and build the crease. For those of you that need eyebrow help, that's how I do it. Took me a long time to master this, and I have not mastered it. But be patient with yourself and watch a lot of videos. And I'm sorry that you probably can't really see what I'm doing, but you might on the other eyebrow. So I've just kind of barely built it out so far. Shouldn't say barely, it's a lot more than it was. But it's the part that I don't have right here is really the trick. And it comes out all sorts of shapes depending on what day it is. And then I will take a little spooler and sort of, just brush it out a little bit so that it's not quite so dark.
How many colors does Young Living have for you to do your eyebrows?
They have 4 now. 4 different multitaskers. They're called multitaskers. They're not called brow pencils or brow colors. But you can see that I now have an eyebrow. And if I'm not careful, I can skits on this for a long time. So we're not going to do that. Your eyebrows never want to you're never going to have twin eyebrows. They're just sisters. So we can't freak out over the fact that they don't match perfectly. And when you're doing it on camera, they never do. So again, I'm just kind of building that arch first. I think you can see this in a little bit better. And you definitely want to build this and not start with too much because you cannot take this back. You have to start over.
And are you putting that on dry, not without any
Yes.
spray?
Good question. Yeah, I am. You can put it on the spray if you want, and it makes for a very bold brow. But the reason that you don't want to use a whole lot is because, well, it goes on really dark, but plus if you have fallout, then you have to clean all that up. And yep, I did it again. A higher arch on that side, but it's okay. We won't stress out over that. The key with this is a light hand, very light feathery strokes to kind of look like more, real hair. So if you do have some fallout, take your big brush or a big brush and just kind of brush it off. Don't do that because you will smudge it. So they're not perfect. One is definitely a little bit higher than the other, but I have eyebrows. So that, and now we have a lot of different shades of eyeshadows, but now we have something that I love, and I'm sure a lot of women do, is we have pressed eyeshadow. I love it. This is called color palette number 1. So that should tell you that we're going to have a number 2, maybe a 3. So I love this. This color palette actually has 5 colors. So it has Ambition, which is a really, I'm sorry, over here. Ambition is a deep charcoal shimmer. Yep. And then we have Timeless. It's a mauve shimmer. And we have Elegant, which is a really pretty bronze shimmer. They're all shimmery. And then we have Timeless and Ambition. Now, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put on my eyeliner, which I forget every single time, but to do that before I put on my eyeshadow. But tonight, I remember. Now, this product is Jet Setter, and it is like soot from a fireplace. It is so black. Can you see that? Oh, I'm retarded. It's very black. And what I do is I do get this liquid because you can do a smoky eye and just do it dry, but I like to do it liquid. It kind of goes on like paint. Again, I'm not a huge, well, I never wore eyeliner before last June. So I'm still learning about how to do that. So what I do is I spray my lid. I don't know if you can see how muddy that looks. So I get it really good and liquidy. See that? And then I've got like a little mud paste. And just kind of swirl my brush around in it. Using the same brush I use for my eyebrows. You can use a different brush, but that's what I do, and then I clean it. And I clean all my brushes with Thieves Household Cleaner. And I do that probably 2 times a week, and that is a really good thing to do. And sometimes I may use the back of my hand as a palette and just kind of dab it on there to make sure I get, you know, like the initial excess off. And then everybody does eyeliner differently. And I cannot talk while I do this, but I get really close to my lash line and just kind of go over to the middle. And I don't like to use a whole lot of eyeliner. I try not to tug my eyes because that's really bad for you. But I just kind of hold it still. Getting it close to the lash line is really the key with eyeliner. Okay, that one I took over a little bit further, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I tell you what, let's just go all the way over tonight, just for fun.
So you didn't have to reapply, like put it back in and go back to your eye. All of that was with one application?
Yes, if you get it wet enough, you don't have to go back. I mean, it's just soaking wet, you know. And it's very, it just goes on like paint. It's really thin and glides on really nicely. Now, if you want to get a smoky eye, I like the very defined look, but you can also, and if you have to clean it up, like I kind of went out a little bit there, you can just take a Q-tip and dab it. But you can take a Q-tip and go across it, or even an eyeshadow brush and kind of smudge it out a little bit, since it is wet, and you know, you can work with it a little bit. But that's it for the eyeliner. And sometimes I don't wear eyeliner, but I do like it. I do like it a lot. Just going to do a really simple eye tonight. And I think I'm going to take the middle one, which is, I think that's Elegant, what it's called. Kind of a brown shimmer. And I do have one of Young Living's brushes. I'll show it to you real quick. Okay, got black stuff all over me. It's very dense, so I cannot wait for them to come out with some new brushes. This is just a brush I got from Walmart, but you can see it's very fluffy on the end, very fluffy, and that actually is a lot nicer for what I'm about to do than this, because it's a lot more forgiving. This, you're committed. When you touch your eye, it's just because of the firmness of the brush. So I like a fluffier black brush. Somebody taught me that trick. And I just kind of swirl it around in here, and then sometimes will get a little bit of the excess off of my hand. And it doesn't take a whole lot. It really doesn't. The makeup is very pigmented, so it does not take a whole lot. And I'll just, I actually keep my eye open so I can see kind of where I want the product just because of the shape of my eyes. Everybody's eyes are shaped differently, but this works really nice for me. I'll kind of keep my eye open and I just literally do like a little circular motion right there at the outer corner of my eye. Pick up a little bit more. A lot of times I'll blow off the excess powder to keep it from having fallout. And so, not a lot. And then I'm going to take it down, right down to the eyelid. But I'm just going to do it right on the outside, right on that corner. And I like to do the circular motions. It just really helps get the product in there without doing a harsh line. Do the other eye.
You're not going any further than the middle of your eyelid?
I'm not, but I have on other applications, but today I'm just doing a really simple look, and I'm just going right on the outer corner. It's going to depend on the shape of your eye too, as to how you want to, how you want it to show up. But sometimes I will take it over and just do all the way over. I am going to put some product where you're there, but not with this tonight, not with the darker color. So you can just continue to build it. I like building versus just starting off real dark because it just gives you a lot more opportunity to get it the shade that you really want versus just you having it on there and then it's too dark. So now I am going to use the real shimmery one, the first one, the real light one. And I'm going to put it, I'm going to start right here in the corner because it opens up your eyes when you put shadow in the corner. When you put eyeshadow in the corner of it, it opens them up. Or it closes them if you use dark colors. So I'm just doing it halfway over just to kind of meet the other color. And the more that you do this, you're just blending the colors together. And you can see that shimmer just kind of pops your eyelid. And these are very pigmented and does not take a whole lot. And a lot of times I will go ahead and put that same color up as my brow color because it's just a really nice neutral color. This is when I'll use this denser brush to do that. Just right up underneath your brow bone or your eyebrow arch that you just created. And that is pretty much my eyes for tonight. Now sometimes I'll take and I'll do like a different color and I will simply just go on the very corner just to kind of darken it up on the very corners. But I really like that natural look. Go with that tonight. Alrighty. And it's a good idea to go ahead and put the lids on your stuff because I can't tell you how many times I have knocked over this black jet setter and made the biggest mess. Okay, so next, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the mascara and just finish off the eyes. And I do not put eyeliner under my eyes because I feel like that closes my eyes up too much. Some people do like to do their eyeliner under their eyes, especially if you have really big eyes and you have almond-shaped eyes. That looks really nice. I just have very average eyes. I'll tell you that Young Living mascara I am absolutely madly in love with. I could stand on the street corner and sell this stuff because I love it so much. And I think people would buy it because I love it so much. I'm so passionate about it. It goes on like butter and it has lavender in it. But the best part about it is that it comes off like magic. You just splash water on it and it's gone. Like there's no trace. It's amazing. Of course, you know it's all natural. And it goes on really moist and wet. And so after it dries, you can do a second coat if you want to really enhance your lashes. The only thing I don't like about it, and I really, really don't like it, and a lot of people have said this, so hopefully they're going to change it, is the brush. The brush needs to be improved. A lot of the product gets clumped up on the brush, and I feel like I have to do this a lot, and I don't like that. So I really am excited that I would be more excited if they would redo this brush configuration.
Yeah, I agree. I love the mascara, but the brush is long. I prefer a shorter brush because I feel like I'm not really getting the whole product, like I have to move the brush around a lot.
A friend of mine said she takes the brush and she kind of does this on the way out so it doesn't pick up too much product, but I don't even feel like that's enough to get rid of all that extra product. So the product seems to clump up on the brush, and it makes it a little more challenging to work with. If it had a better brush, it would be a lot better. But even in spite of that, this is still my favorite product right now. So I feel like and you could sit here, I'm not going to do that for the sake of time, but you could sit here and put on a few layers and really build up your lashes to be very pretty. And I'll just take a Q-tip and kind of clean up if I made a little mess. Okay, so that is for the eyes. Let's do some blush. So Young Living has some really pretty blush colors. They just came out with some new colors, and the one that I absolutely love right now is Charisma. It is. I found that some of the other ones I couldn't get a deep enough pink. I couldn't get the pink I was looking for. They seemed muted or brown or beigey, which they're very pretty, and a lot of people have that kind of skin tone, but I like pink. So I'm going to use my blush brush, and I'm going to show you how little you need of this. And I have this much in here, but that's probably not even going to use all that. I'm just going to barely dip my brush in it and get a little bit on the end. And I like to smile and see the apples of my cheeks, and that's where I put it. I have to look over here. Again, build your blush. Don't start with a whole bunch, but you just want to build it. And I'm just dabbing it right there on my apple. You guys get to see all my funny faces. So it's pretty pinky, but you don't have to use very much at all. And if you wanted to pop even more, you can wet your brush and then do just a little bit on each cheek, but it kind of can streak it if you have too much of the misting spray. But if you just wet it and just kind of do this, your cheeks will really pop. So that is Charisma, and it is the pinky pink. I'm going to show you how pink. It's like fuchsia pink. It's really pink. I want to say that the mascara, one other thing about it is I have heard people tell me that they have really sensitive eyes that cannot use any eye product, have no problem with the mascara. So that's awesome. Okay, I want to show you now what you can do with the veil, the mineral veil that is diamond dust. So we have two veils. We have matte and we have diamond dust. That's kind of the color, matte and diamond dust. So this is the diamond dust, which is very shimmery. A lot of people do like to just kind of do that big brush and dust it all over their face. And honestly, if I'm going out in the sun or I'm going somewhere that is very, I'm dressed up, I may do that too. But usually this is what I'll do. I actually use my blending brush because it's, and I didn't even use that tonight, but I do like it on your eyes. But if you have a really light hand, you don't really have to blend that much. I kind of blended with my eyeshadow brush as I was putting it on. But I take the diamond dust, and as you can see, I have a minute amount in the lid because it's very, very shimmery. I'll take a little bit, and I'll just put it like right on my cheekbones, right above my blush. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but when I go out in the sun, it really sparkles, and it's just very pretty. And so sometimes I'll also put this on the tip of my nose just to kind of even enhance. It just kind of draws it all together, and it's really pretty. But somebody else showed me this. This is kind of a strange trick, but I really like it. So I take this light color here. I use my finger, which has Jet Setter on it. Not good. Okay, I use my finger, and Jet Setter, I don't know if I told you that. Jet Setter is what the eyeliner is called. You only have one color eyeliner. That's another thing that's coming out next year. We're going to have brown eyeliner as well. But you can use the, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to have brown eyeliner. You can use the multitasker as your brown eyeliner. What was it we're going to have? I'm thinking of something else, but it's not coming to me. Maybe it will in a minute. But I take the eyeshadow here, and I'm going to do it over here, but I'll show you. I just dab the end of my nose. And when you go outside, I know it looks a little shiny, but I'll take my brush and then I'll just kind of blend it in. And I don't know, ladies, if you ever see on TV or models, they have that polished look. I just think it draws it all together, and it's really pretty when you go outside. So, alrighty, now we're almost done with our fast, quick, steady look. Just threw it all together. So the lipsticks. We only had 5 shades until just recently of the lip gloss. Well, I'm sorry, we only had 2. Now we have 5. And the lipsticks, we only had 6, and now we have 14. We have so many pretty shades of lipstick. So we have 2 different blends of lipstick. We have 1 blend that comes in a tube like this. This is called Mic Drop. It's really pretty. And it has tangerine essential oil, almond oil, beeswax, and vitamin E. Makes it very nourishing. Then the other formula they just came out with looks like this. This is a really dark color. And this has coconut oil, shea butter, orange, peppermint, spearmint, cinnamon bark, and it is very, very pigmented. I think we have 4 or 5 of these, and they're very highly pigmented for the darker colors, which is really good. The ladies, the other colors were pretty, some of them were pretty muted in the beginning, and then we came out with mic drops and spring colors, but now we have these really dark colors. And that's super exciting because when you have natural makeup, it's hard to get that deep shade unless you use dye. And we were just thrilled that we could use micas and still get that same dark shade without having to use anything unnatural. But what I'm using tonight is called On a Whim, since I have sort of like coral type orangey shirt on. It's On a Whim. Oh, now it's on me. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is a very neutral shade. It has now been reshaped since I dropped it. It's very creamy and very natural. And I like a very natural look. And this is a very deep coral, and it's called Anchors Away is the name of this lip gloss. This is infused with peppermint, and so it kind of gives your lips a little pop, and I really like this shade. And I never used lip gloss before Young Living came out with this, but I really like it. And a lot of times I'll just wear lip gloss. There you have it. Full face of makeup. And I don't know, that was about 30 minutes maybe with explaining and everything. So this takes me maybe 10 or 15 minutes in the morning. So I would really love it if you guys had some questions, or maybe you have had some experience with the products that you would like to share with us. You are free to unmute yourself. I'm not going to unmute everybody because then it gets really noisy, but you're free to unmute yourself and chat with me for a minute.
Hi, Tanya. I have a question about the mist. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. Hey, Sherry.
When you spray the mist on, does your makeup stay on all day, or does it
No, it stays on.
I've never done a mist before, so that makes me feel like it's gonna get kind of clumpy
No,
and
no.
maybe matty.
Yeah,
And your makeup looks beautiful, so
yeah. That's a logical thought. I mean, I thought that too at first, but it doesn't. It goes on. As a matter of fact, if you don't use the spray, it goes on. It's too powdery. The spray helps it just to settle in and go on very smooth.
okay. And
Right.
then okay, I don't have any of the Savvy minerals yet, but I'm going to get it. I'm trying to work through all my other stuff. But do you use, and you probably said this, and I just missed it. I had some background stuff going on over there. But do you use all three of the cleansers? Do you use the orange blossom, the charcoal, and the oil, or you just use the oil and then the others whenever you feel needed?
So I do use all three on different days. So I alternate the charcoal bar soap with the cleanser in the morning.
Okay.
Because I have the charcoal bar soap and I wanted to try it, and I feel like it's going to let my cleanser. The cleansers are, I think they're $41. The bar soap's $12. So it's going to extend my cleanser, and I just think it really cleans so deeply. So I just kind of want to use that every other day.
Okay. Okay. And if you repeated yourself, I'm sorry about that. And then one more question. I'll let somebody else. When you put your I don't use eyeliner, but I need to. So when you put your eyeliner on, does it bleed during the day when you get busy and stuff like that? It stays on well?
It stays on really well. And so when I had the lid, I sprayed the misting spray. So this helps the pigments to bind together even better. But you can put it on dry, and it doesn't. There's just something about this makeup. The micas in it are so rich, and they just really bond together well, especially if you use the spray.
Okay.
I want to say with the cleansing oil, I really just do that when I have makeup that I want to take off. That's really the cleansing oil at night.
Okay.
If I just want to hydrate my skin, I don't have any makeup on, and I'm just around the house, and I'm like, my skin just feels like it needs hydration. I'll just put that on and leave it on. I don't even wash it off.
Okay. I'm a little leery of the oil because I'm in menopause and my face will break out. Well, what I discovered this week is if I put ylang ylang on my Vitaflex points, the next day I wake up and there's no sign of blemishes. It's amazing. Wow. It's amazing. And I'm talking the hard cystic acne that hurts.
Is that like, did it just come on? Like, is that a new thing for you, or have you always had that?
I've always had that, but I have weaned myself off of trying to wean myself off all my medicines and all my hormones. So I'm not on any hormones. I'm using all the oils. So I'm balancing, trying to figure out what works where. And I just so happened to have the ylang ylang, which I hadn't used yet. I bought it actually when we were at convention. And so I looked it up and it said, try this. So I did, and I put it on my feet and I put it on my lower back. And I promise you, it makes it go away. And I'm just, I know. So spread that around. But I'm just a little of the,
Well, the ylang ylang is in a lot of our cleansing products, I guess for that reason.
Okay. So I wanted to use the oil, but I was a little leery of it because I am going through all that hormones.
Yeah, I really don't think you're going to have a problem with it because cleansing with oil, if you just Google that process, it's pretty common for people, like over in Europe, it's just very common. But especially if you use the right kind of carrier oil, the kind that's not too heavy and won't clog up your pores. But just play around with it. I know you've got a full-time job if you're trying to come into menopause and come off all that medication and everything.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you. Well, your makeup looks beautiful.
Thank you. Keep me updated on how you like all that. I know she's Tamara's sister.
Yes. Tamara's my sister.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to mute myself so somebody else.
Okay. Hey, Rebecca. All right. Will you guys have any more questions for us tonight?
Tanya, I'll ask one since you just saw me. I've been listening but multitasking. This is phenomenal because I have all the makeup, but I just hearing you talk it through and showing it, it just gets you more and more familiar with it. What do you do to keep the makeup from kind of the powder from spraying or, kind of drifting in the air on the counter?
You mean as you're using it, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody I know, when they use it, the powder's flying everywhere, and we were trying to figure out what is she doing different, because I don't ever have that happen. She, I think, uses a lot more than I do. So just starting with, don't get too much product. I think that'll help getting your brush nice and wet.
Mm-hmm.
Will help the product to go up in the brush versus just sitting right on top. And I really get the product in the brush, up in the brush,
Yeah.
not have it sit on top.
My challenge has been where the dusting kind of happens is when I'm tapping it to get it onto the lid, or into the lid to use it. So
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you had any tips and tricks on that, because I want to use it. I don't want it on my counter. I want to use it.
I take the lid, the bottom of the lid, and I hit the bottom into here and get it to tap out.
Okay.
Just went all over my hand, but I get it because I'm not paying attention. I tap the case into the lid versus dumping it or any other way. Just that gentle tapping.
I'll try that in the morning. Great. Thank you.
And
great job, by the way.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to come out with pressed powder.
Yes, I can't wait. I will be first in line to buy everything when they do, because I'm just messy, I guess.
A lot of people still put their makeup on in the car, so that's been a real problem.
Yeah. All right, but wonderful class. Thank you so much. I learned a lot.
Good. I hope you have a lot more confidence with using it, because it's not.
Absolutely.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, if anyone else has any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. I don't want to keep you guys too long. All right. Well, I'm going to post in all the Facebook groups the video I had done before that really explains in detail all of the ingredients in all of the different products that we talked about. And I'm also going to post a picture of that girl that used the Maximum Strength Acne treatment. Anyways, you guys have a great night, and you can find me on Facebook and reach out if you have any questions, and if you have any tips to share, I'd love to hear them. Just most of all, start getting savvy. All right, let me stop the recording. Y'all have a good night.